This is the Kaiweets Articulating Industrial Borescope. Kaiweets sent it to me in exchange for an honest review video. I'll show you what comes in the box, point out some of its useful features, and then we'll stick it in some holes and look at some stuff. Be sure to check out the description for links and discount codes so you can get the best deal on a Kaiweets Articulating Industrial Borescope of your very own, while in turn helping this channel improve future content with small commissions I earn from any sale. So first off, in the box, I'm greeted with this really nice carrying case. This is one of the nicer cases that I've seen. It's got like a double zipper on it. Let's see what we got inside. Obviously, there's an owner's manual. Looks like they gave us a couple microfiber lens cleaning cloths. Got the unit itself. Got a USB Type-C charging cable. And then it looks like a little, okay, this must have fell off the end here. This is just a rubber cap to protect the end of the borescope itself. There's a little capsule here with some accessories. And these things are usually, looks like we got a little magnetic hiccup tip, and these would go right over the end. There's like a spring clip here. No, I'm lying to you. These are threaded to screw right onto the end. That's actually kind of nice. So you got the magnet, you have a little hook for retrieving lost items, and then this is a mirror so you can see off to the side. So if you went inside like a cylinder head, you can use that mirror to view the sides of the cylinder. Let me unscrew this and put it back into this nice little case. I dropped that and it actually stuck to the side of our borescope. Kind of a nice strong magnet, probably a neodymium magnet. Yeah, that stuff stores in there, stores in the case. Check out the end on it. And that makes it kind of nice for looking around in places. But you can still use that mirror if you don't have room for this thing to articulate. Let's see if we could turn this thing on. Probably hold that in. Mostly Mike will go over the screen and tell you what the buttons do.
I'm going to go over all the features of the Kaiweets Industrial Articulating Borescope. For starters, we got the power button down here, right here. So you hold it for a couple seconds and it'll boot up. So at the top left of the screen, you have that little camera button. That's whether you're taking pictures or you push this button and you're taking video. This button here previews your files, whatever pictures you happen to have. You push it again and you're back to your regular viewing on the screen. The top here, that 137 degrees Fahrenheit, is actually the temperature at the tip. But the reason it's so high is because the LED light at the end of it was lit up, and it is actually recording the temperature of that light.
Basically, what Mostly Mike is saying is that if you want to get a ballpark temperature of the cider that you soaked it in, before you soak it in cider, you should shut off the light and let it cool first. The high temperatures produced at the tip with the light on definitely keeps the lens from fogging in certain situations. So there's that.
Beside it is telling you whether that little microphone is telling you whether you are recording with audio or not. The next one over tells you if you have an SD card or not. And that little red symbol there is actually a light bulb. And when the light bulb is off, that means that your light at the end of the borescope is off. And you can see it goes out and you have your high, medium, low, and then off for your brightness. Finally, you have your battery life indicator, which this was shipped with a full charge. It's showing 3/4 of a charge because I keep screwing up on this video. And down here, or 24-hour time, and then it gives you the date. And that can all be changed in the settings. And speaking of settings, you have up here on the top left button, you push that little gear button, and you have your menu. You push it again, you go back to your regular viewing. We go into the menu, you have your language settings. You can do 11 different languages. These two buttons in the middle, they'll navigate you up or down on the menu. You have your date and time. You select OK to go into the settings. And of course, you have your date and your time settings. You click OK, you can go the whole way through, and you can set everything. Hit the back button, you go back out. You have your automatic shutdown. You can select 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or off. A lot of this is pretty obvious. You have your resolution, you got your date, label, you can select whether you have that on or off. Your audio recording, you can select that on or off. You have your sound button here. Now that's your push button sounds. So you click OK, you select on, then click OK, and now you have a beep. It sounds like a phone. Storage, it's telling you how much storage you have, which we have 29.1 gigabytes of storage left. That's your screen brightness, your system temperature units in centigrade or Fahrenheit. You can switch back to factory default settings. You can reformat your disk, and this is your firmware version. We'll back out, and we power off, and you get this really incredible sound effect. Isn't that beautiful? Gives you that kind of a sad tone when you shut it off, but excitement. That sound says nothing but excitement. Finally, you have that knob in the center.
Knob.
And you can use it to articulate your end, which is pretty much the biggest selling point of our device here, the Kaiweets and articulating industrial borescope, not necessarily in that order. So yeah, chock full of interesting features.
These borescopes are interesting as well as fun to use. I found myself walking around just looking for places to shove it in and take a look. After getting slapped, bit, and scratched a few times, I opted to just look at some stuff around the garage. I'll narrate what's going on and occasionally let you hear the sounds from the scope itself, although the audio from the unit itself sounds somewhat muffled. First, I checked out the colon of my mini excavator. While I knew I wasn't going to make it all the way to the ignition switch, I was greeted not too far in with this. I guess you call it a spark arrestor. Good to have this to prevent fires too, I suppose. It's sure nice just to be able to non-destructively search the engine bay for things such as the hydraulic pump and the engine oil drain hose. Nice to see what is there without taking the sheet metal covers off. The battery is buried so deep in the mini excavator, I do plan to make the battery on this machine more accessible in a future video. I have an exhaust leak on my car, but to look underneath, the car either needs to be lifted up or at least pulled onto some sketchy ramps. Or I could use the Kaiweets articulating industrial borescope. Yeah, the sound is definitely coming from the resonator, and that resonator definitely needs replaced. I inserted the borescope into a wall cavity at the Mostly Mike Show headquarters alongside this piece of greenfield flexible metal conduit. And no, this video is not sponsored by Greenfield, as many of you were probably wondering. This definitely gives you the idea that it focuses a lot better in very close proximity. The further you go back, the grainier it gets, which is typical in any borescopes like these that I've tried. My final thoughts: I believe that for the money, the Kaiweets articulating industrial borescope is pretty good value. I've used other brands that cost nearly 3 times as much as the Kaiweets, and the picture quality was not any better than the Kaiweets is. Is this true 1080p? I kinda doubt it. But really, we're not filming in Hollywood or diagnosing illnesses. So I think that the resolution is adequate if you need to just retrieve a lost tool or see where some cables or pipes inside of a wall go. The only thing that I wasn't very crazy about on the Kaiweets articulating industrial borescope was the recorded audio quality. And see, there it is. And if I need to read information off of it, probably maybe get to the other side, I don't rightfully know. While I wouldn't plan on using a borescope to record a studio album, I thought that the integrated microphone would still sound better than the first moon landing. One small step for man, one giant leap for Mostly Mike. That said, I could still understand what I was saying in cheap walkie-talkie quality, which still serves its purpose for dictating what hole you're looking in. By the way, how's my dictate? Let me know in the comments. I think that the Kaiweets articulating industrial borescope will come in handy for many things around the house and garage, some of which I can't talk about in this video. Remember to look for discount codes in the description. At the time of this video, there's a Black Friday special going on Amazon. Please be sure to like, share, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.